Coach, like so many other programs in cold weather states, you guys start with just about a month on the road to open the season. Just what are you hoping to find out about your team and accomplish over this first road stretch?
I mean, we're ready to go. It's an exciting time, and obviously, be great to get down to some warmer weather and get outside. But these first couple of preseason tournaments are just about kind of figuring out some roles, especially with our pitching staff. We have 9 pitchers on our roster right now, so just kind of identifying those roles and starters, and I think we have a pretty good idea what that's going to look like. But it's exciting. We're ready to go.
What are you hoping this team shows that's maybe a little bit different from last year,
Yeah.
or a jump or two that you'd like to see
Yeah.
them make?
We're returning a really strong veteran group defensively for us. So a lot of starters, and I think that they've made some exceptional like jump, especially offensively, over the course of the summer and this fall. So. I expect that we're going to be really, really solid defensively. I think that our offense is going to be a lot more powerful and hopefully produce a lot more runs for us. Um, but I really think the biggest thing that we're going to see is our pitching depth that we're going to have. I mean, I think that's going to be really critical for us and be a huge advantage for us moving forward with having 9 arms. So, yeah, we added Chloe Barber, who's a transfer from Wichita State, who was their number one. She's really going to give us a lot of good looks in the circle for us. Kaylee Washington's a sophomore coming back after last year having a really good, strong freshman year, but just experience, just adding up for her is huge. So she's throwing really, really well right now, and I think you're going to see Lizzie Ludwood give us a few more extra innings this year than she's done in the past. I mean, she's really dialed in right now and focused, and she looks great. So, with that, we have 3 freshman pitchers. Kind of don't really know what you're going to get sometimes with them, but they're very talented. I just think, as we talked about before, one of the biggest things for them right now is just getting some innings and getting that experience and confidence in the circle. So, that's the biggest takeaway for these first couple weeks is just getting their feet wet a little bit and getting that experience for them and, them just gaining the confidence every day.
Understanding that you've got to see it for a few weeks before you kind of settle in on everything. When you have that kind of pitching depth, do you have a plan for how to use it, how to manage it? Obviously, every team in the country would like to have that one horse that you can just throw
Yeah.
out there every game, but do you have to have a plan going into how to use that depth?
Absolutely. And especially like those first couple games. I mean, obviously we don't really want to start a freshman in game one, but Kaylee Washington, I think, is somebody you'll probably see in the starting circle for us right out of the gate. Um, Kennedy Diggs is also a returning sophomore that gave us some quality innings last year, and they're just different looks, and that's the kind of the strategy that and the mindset that we have with our pitching staff this year is we've got some kids that are throwing in the upper 60s, and then we've got some that are just really um, they're great with they're just spinny and like Kennedy Diggs has a lot of off speed pitches that she throws for us, so she's a totally different look. So Anna Souls has given us a lot this fall that she has not given us a lot of innings in the past. She's a lefty. And that's a huge advantage for us. So yeah, I mean, and those are kids with experience, and so those are the ones we're going to lean on a little bit, probably right out of the gate. But also, again, going back to our freshman pitching staff, I mean, they're good. They're competitive. They just need some time and a couple games under their belt. But I think we've got a really good plan going into the week and a couple good matchups on day one that kind of allow us to probably experiment with some things. And then USF on Saturday, which is game 3 for us. And so that'll give us a day to kind of really figure out some roles and hopefully have a chance to go back with Kaylee Washington possibly on Saturday against USF.
Coach, offensively, you guys returned some production, but maybe some other names to highlight for the upcoming season.
Absolutely. We have freshman Ella Boyer, catcher, third baseman for us, who has a ton of power in the box. So We're replacing Olivia Bruno from last year, who probably led our team in home runs, had a lot of power for us. But this is a young lady that really brings a lot of explosive power for us at the plate. Strong right-handed power hitter for us. So probably see her in the middle of our lineup when she's not catching, probably maybe in a DP role or a possible third base. We just, again, we're returning back. We got Haley Kripe, Campbell Bagshaw, both have had some pretty good numbers, and then Presley Limbaugh and Ainsley Linduff in the leadoff spot for us. So I think, our offense has really come around this last fall. I think Coach Justin Lewis, oversees our offensive piece of the game, has really done an exceptional job with really expanding our hitters' mentality, and I think you're going to see a little bit better production from us this year for sure.
These preseason tournaments, you guys play a ton of games in a short amount of time compared to Big 12 play where it's just a regular series. How much valuable of an experience is that in these early goings, just to try and figure out who you guys are as a team?
Yeah, we're going to play 11 games in 10 days. That's a lot. So we're going to find out a lot about each other. Kind of just figuring out, we have a big roster this year. We have 25 kids that can really contribute in a lot of different ways. So we'll have to figure out those role players, those kids that are going to come in as pinch hitters or possible pinch runners for us. I kind of reflect back to our defense. We're really strong and solid across the board. So I don't think we drop off any when we make some changes defensively, but it's really going to be about probably the offensive piece for us right now. I think we've got a pretty good idea right now, probably who our 7 starters are, and just probably identifying a couple of more of those role players that are filling those other 2 spots on some different days and different lineups. Again, we have a couple pitchers like Anna Souls, who can fill in at first base. She can pitch. She's also a really powerful hitter for us in the lineup. I think she's another one of our players that you're going to see a lot more of this year, especially adding some power in our lineup as a lefty hitter.
I think it was last year, it might have been 2 years ago though now, you kind of identified in here Haley as sort of the signature quintessential Jayhawk softball player. I wonder with your freshman class, is there a theme that kind of runs through that group or just newcomers in general that obviously they all are the same type or the same style of player? Is that something that you're adding this year?
Well, our freshman class is just heavy with pitchers.
Right.
So 3 of those, the 6 that we have that'll be playing this spring are pitchers. So, and then we've got Ella Boyer in there. We've got Audrey Youngblood, who's an outfielder with some speed. So I think, you're still going to see majority of our starters are going to be returners, and Haley Kripe is definitely the foundation of this program. I mean, she's been exceptional for 3 years for us. She has put a ton of work in this summer and this fall. So, she has high expectations of herself as well. So she's a leader and just an incredibly hard worker. And I think most importantly, she's really impacted the freshman class and in just her style and her commitment, her dedication, her discipline. So the freshman class is probably one of the hardest working classes that we've had so far. So I think they're gonna get some time for sure for us on the field. It's just a matter of what their role is going to look like day to day.